Sunday afternoon football at its finest. Two traditional foes at one of rugby league's oldest facilities, and Leichhardt Oval is full for this round 20 matchup. Let's take a look at how the two sides will take the field. The home side will go into this match with the same 17 as named on Tuesday. The halves are Marshall and Prince. The bench is Collis, Hallertau, Hyington and Payton. Their coach is Tim Sheens. For the visiting South Sydney Rabbitohs, a couple of positional changes. Todd Polglaze in 16 moves to fullback. Luke McDougall in 1 moves into the centres to partner brother Adam. Eileen Buddy Gordon has been relegated to the bench, and their coach is Sean McRae. And the referee for today's contest is Englishman Russell Smith in his 18th first grade appointment. It is official. It is a sellout here at Leichhardt Oval. They are literally hanging from the rafters. Traditional football on a Sunday afternoon. The West Tigers won the toss, are kicking off and defending the northern end of Leichhardt Oval for the opening 40 minutes. We are underway. South Sydney with the first use of the football. A couple of positional changes in the final hour made by Sean McRae, including Todd Polglaze to fullback and the McDougall boys linking together in the centres. The number 8 is Peter Cusack. Short side they come again through Luke Stewart. It is Team 7 on the NRL ladder, the Tigers, against the 14th place visiting South Sydney Rabbitohs. Tigers with successive wins, 3 of them as a matter of fact, and as a joint venture the club has never strung 4 together. So a moment in history perhaps this afternoon, getting the ball downfield as Beau Champion, the young halfback, in just his 3rd top grade game. Paul Green, a pretty structured opening set from the Rabbitohs. Yeah, pretty standard stuff, just working their way out of their own territory. Their big forwards carting it forward. A little bit of shift on the ball there from Cusack early, but they got to the round of the 40 and not a bad kick. But this game promises to hold so much. Both teams coming off successive wins. As you said, the West Tigers stringing 3 together, and South's playing with plenty of confidence at the moment. So it should be a great day for football this afternoon. And considering the results so far in round 20 of the Telstra NRL Premiership, a victory here is crucial to the West Tigers' position on the competition ladder as that race for semi-final football intensifies. There's a real bottleneck around, all trying to get into that 8th spot between 20 and 24 points. Pressure on Polglaze. The defence is good, but the fullback equal to the task. Very slow to get to his feet. He was hammered in the tackle. Here we see it again. Polglaze done well to get back to the kick, but he caught one there from Elford accidental. Shane Elford just got the shoulder right on the chin. Let's hope for Todd's sake it's not too bad. The only man on the field at the moment wishing Sean McRae didn't switch that starting lineup at the moment. He is not sure where he is at the moment, is Polglaze. Gave South Sydney a rest. It also allowed the West Tigers the opportunity to set their defensive line, and they have really crammed and looking to rush and muscle up on South Sydney. That's good metres from Shannon Hegarty, the former premiership winning Rooster. So too this man, a teammate with the Tricolours, and now at South Sydney, Brian Fletcher. Yeah, Shannon Hegarty loves to get in there and run from dummy half, really takes a bit of pressure off the big South Sydney forwards, and we'll see him with his dummy half scoots head across field and try and pick up a straight runner later in the game as the West Tigers defence starts to get a bit tired. Beau Champion in 7, directing the traffic around the park, and again kicking, and that is a monster bomb. It's going to find neutral ground between winger and fullback. It ends up in the hands of Paddy Richards, one of a couple of players leaving at the end of 2005, along with John Wilson and club captain Mark Buckets O'Neill. Couple of short balls. They find Elford down the right-hand side. Open space, the inside man. Oh, it's John Sutton wearing a South Sydney jersey. So the first line break, in fact, goes to the Tigers, and some good scrambling work defensively. Yeah, great work there by John Sutton to get himself between the West Tigers support. If he didn't take that, it was try time under the sticks for the West Tigers, but some very enterprising play down the short side, and they'll need to chance their hand when they get those opportunities. One thing South Sydney aren't, and that is short on playmakers. You've got the halfback, of course, John Sutton, Ashley Harrison and Brian Fletcher. great at producing and providing good second phase football for his teammates. Shane Walker is the 9. He gets it off to Champion. Again goes to the air. Difficult kick, but well taken by Daniel Fitzhenry on that left-hand wing.
Yes, already today we've seen Bo Champion wanting to go high. There's Brett Hodgson down the short side. Great hands there. The boys played straight and put it through the hands to Shane Elford, but there's Big John Sutton getting in the way. And a welcome break for the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Temptation must have been there for Elford to take on Polglaze, considering he was a little battered, a bit bruised, and probably still in recovery mode.
Yeah, I think early on, though, he's going to take the percentages play. He had plenty of support on the inside. It was the play to go. Just didn't find the man he was hoping to.
Fadawira is wrapped up again. They're in South Sydney's part of the football field as Fitzhenry crabs across field. He is wrapped up by Geddes. Also there was McDougall. Back to the number 7 they go. This is Scotty Prince. Test for Shannon Hegarty. Lack of communication and try for the West Tigers. It's Shane Elford. Well, after 4 minutes, the great start for the Tigers.
A great start for the Tigers. They're very good at scoring first. But I can't believe the South Sydney players, the back three there, let that ball bounce. There were 3 players around that ball who all could have had a go at it and taken it on the full. Rule number 1 as a fullback, never let the ball bounce. And a towering kick by Scotty Prince. You look at them, they're all sitting around. No one wanted to take it. Shannon Hegarty left it. He thought Luke McDougall was there. Adam McDougall was there also. And in the end, a pretty simple try to the West Tigers.
Simple lack of communication there between Polglaze and Hegarty at the back. No urgency shown at the back. Brett Hodgson is 19 metres out, 11.5 metres in from touch. Breeze will be going across his boot, just slightly favouring South Sydney in the opening 40. Struck well, and it was perhaps that breeze just taking it away to the left-hand side. It is 4-0. This is the reason why.
Here we said a good weighted kick, landing just about on the try, and that's where you want to land those big bombs. But, you know, as we said, there were plenty of South Sydney people there, and that kick should have been taken on the full.
Awkward kick, looking for the sideline with South Sydney. They found the try scorer, Elford. He heads centre field. Brushes off the big front rower in the form of Geddes, and it is Walker that eventually ends the movement. Gibbs used as the decoy onto John Scandalis. Haven't they purchased well so far in the silly season, the West Tigers? Ryan O'Hara, Jamal Alessi, Keith Galloway and Sam Harris.
Yeah, they've probably fared the best, as you said, in the silly season. Not only have they brought a little bit of experience, but there's plenty of youth there too. You know, Jamal Alessi, he's played plenty of football, but Ryan O'Hara got a big rap on him, and Keith Galloway. They're great buys there for the West Tigers, so they're well placed going forward.
Cracker of a kick, and pressure applied to Polglaze, who in fact did well to get out to the 10-metre line. Equally as good as the number 2, Brad Watts.
He's got great footwork, Brad Watts. We'll be looking to see him get in there and cause the big West Tigers forwards plenty of headaches coming out of that dummy half area. As we said, very good on his feet. They'll need to be on their game to handle him.
Luke Stewart plays the football. They come the short side. This is Adam McDougall. This time the Mad Dog given little opportunity to make much ground at all. Tackle number 4. 8 minutes into the contest. It is 4-0 in favour of the Tigers, and Cusack almost throwing a hospital pill there. Last tackle, again at 37 metres. Go to the left foot of Ashley Harrison. It goes straight to Big Paddy Richards, one of several former Parramatta Eels in the lineup. He finds another one of them, Brett Hodgson. Almost found his way through the chasing team. It's only some South Sydney desperation that denied him.
Yeah, look, South Sydney, they look to be a little bit flat. Here we see a great break down the left-hand side.
This is Fitzhenry. Inside is Galea. 2-on-1. Has Ben Galea got the pace and the muscle? He doesn't. Brought down agonisingly close. A crook play the ball.
10 minutes.
And we've got someone going for 10. A professional foul.
Are you calling time?
Yep.
Are you calling time by just calling time, or do you just send him off for 10?
No, he's gone for 10 minutes.
Are you sure?
I think he is sure. Shane Walker questioning the decision there.
We want to be careful. He's not the captain either. Ashley Harrison's the captain. We've seen in recent weeks The referees don't want to put up with anyone. Scott Prince, great work.
Too easy, Scotty Prince. Against the 12-man Rabbitohs lineup, the captain goes across the line for the second. It is 8-0 in favour of the home side.
Scotty Prince showing the ball. Here we see Bengalia. Great defence, great scrambling defence by Paul Glace and Ashley Harrison. We'll see the little incident there, just getting their hand involved, forcing there. He really left Russell Smith no other option than to give him 10 minutes. And Scott Prince, big show there to Bryce Gibbs coming across. The show, what that does is puts the defence in two minds. They start ball watching, wondering what he's going to do with it. And you can't give a guy like Scott Prince that much room because he'll hurt you.
Face a study of concentration for Brett Hodgson. Again, the ball just leaning a little to the left. Does it have any impact? Not this time around. The flags go up and they are keeping in tune with the clock. It is 10-0.
Well, Fatawira, he read there was something happening down the blind side, drew in two players and put Fitzhenry. A great play down the short side. We've already seen him make one bust down on this right-hand side on the short sides. So they've showed they're willing to take their opportunities when they get them. And here's Scotty Prince took full advantage of South Sydney only having 12 men, drifting across field. Plenty of show there and coming up with a great four-pointer.
And for the next 8 minutes or so, South Sydney doing it with just 12 men. Their captain, Ashley Harrison, is off the field for a professional foul. Bryce Gibbs getting the ball on the second bounce, and it was an awkward bounce before the front row was able to get his hands on it.
That's a flop off 9.
Well, South Sydney, things not going their way at the moment. It's important during this 10-minute period with only 12 men on the field that they try and slow down the tempo of the game. They've got to try and find touch, chew up that clock as much as possible, because West Tigers are a team that can attack, and if they're allowed to play an up-tempo style when you've only got 12 men, it could hurt them.
The 11 is Anthony LaFranchi. Off to the Gold Coast in 2007. One man staying put at the Tigers is this man, John Skandalis. They have had all the footy, haven't they? The Tigers 72%, and all of it has been down the other end of the park. 2 tries in the opening 10 minutes. Slow to get to his feet is Bryce Gibbs. Hodgson, Benji Marshall. Good ball to Elford. They had numbers. And both John Sutton and Shannon Hegarty did extremely well defensively there, shutting down what looked like a dangerous movement. Penalty Tigers.
Where the mark, don't you? Offside.
Penalty count now 3-0 in favour of the Tigers. It's going to hurt them, the discipline.
Yeah, there's the replay of the tackle. No problems with that. He's got him for being inside the 10. And they've got to arrest this problem. They've kicked off and gone back-to-back penalties. It's just an easy march for the West Tigers into South Territory. And Brett Hodgson, you'd think he'd turn this into 2 points fairly easily.
He is 28 metres out, almost directly in front. Brett Hodgson started his career at Campbelltown when Wests were the Magpies. Moved over to Parramatta, as I said, as one of a group of former Eels, currently playing with the West Tigers outfit.
It's interesting just hearing Russell Smith there inquiring who's actually captain today. I know Shane Walker's queried him a couple of times already. And as I said, refs have shown as Brett Hodgson lines this one up.
Over she goes. 2 converted tries the difference. It is the West Tigers 12, South Sydney 0.
Yeah, as I was saying, the refs in recent weeks have really shown that they're not going to put up with any rubbish from players talking to them, only allowing the captain.
Ryan Fletcher, of course, stripped of the captaincy a couple of weeks ago by CEO Shane Richardson for an on-field indiscretion. So Big Fletch, who is headed to the Northern Hemisphere to play some rugby league to finish his career, probably quite happy leaving the captaincy at this point in time in the hands of someone else. Here's Skandalis, a wholehearted performer who is going to be capably backed up in the engine room next year with a little bit more size. That's what Steve Noyce and Tim Sheens were very mindful of during their recruitment campaign. 25 metres out, the ball is played through the short side. Again, it is Skandalis. His numbers already exceptional: 6 hit-ups, 5 tackles. Prince Cut out ball to Marshall. Into the Shepherd. Russell Smith lets it go. On to Fatawira. Beautiful ball back into Benji Marshall. What a sidestep. He keeps going. Flicks the ball back. Anthony LaFranchi gets on it. And it is penalty. South Sydney. Grounded according to Russell Smith. LaFranchi gets up unhappy. Oh, Benji, you've produced it again.
Here we see Fatawira. Great inside offload to Benji Marshall, but here's that big step, bang, off the left foot. Just probably in hindsight, I know it's an easy thing to talk about, but take the tackle, quick play the ball, give your team a good opportunity to score later in the tackle count.
Represented Australia in touch football, did Benji Marshall, and has had defenders over the course of the last 18 months still wondering which way he went. Oh, Cusack getting a strong front on tackle there by Fatawira, Galea, also Bryce Gibbs. Missed tackles are crucial already. Possession flow has most certainly been with the West Tigers, 9-1 as we just illustrated. Now this is the time in the game, considering they're down to 12, that Souths can slow the play down, really eat up as much of the clock as they can. And Adam McDougall has taken into touch. A rare mistake from the former state and national representative.
Yeah, well, they're not making things any easier for themselves here on about tackle 2. Adam McDougall just getting bundled into touch.
Out. Slow packing of the scrum there. LaFranchi at second receiver from the scrum base. A lot of coaches now going just with a little bit of positional variation from both attacking and defensive scrums. Hodgson to Fatawira. Fatawira continues, flicks it inside. It was a speculator in the hands of Walker. On to Watts. Early turnover in possession.
Tackle complete, you put your hands on it. Just stay off and the tackle is complete.
Well, it's a bit of a let-off there for South Sydney. Look, they've got to get that right-hand side defence in order pretty smartly, because we've already seen a number of busts down there. Unfortunately for South Sydney, just coming up with an error for West Tigers, and consequently from that a penalty. So it's important they do something positive from this set of 6.
John Scandalis already been replaced by coach Tim Sheens, and into the game for the first time comes Todd Payton in 17, involved in that tackle. A nice strong bench in 2005. The Tigers haven't been ravaged by injury. This is John Sutton, who himself spent some time out of the game mid-season. Hegarty down the short side. Still down to 12 without Captain Harrison. Champion. Not much of a test for Hodgson, who was beautifully positioned at the back. Took that sweeping grubber well. This is Fitzhenry heading back centre field. Ran out of teammates on his left-hand side. Prince gets it off to LaFranchi, always happy to put his hand up for some work. A little bit of work there from the crowd, helping Russell Smith and adjudicate. And the Tigers got the penalty they were after. There is Ashley Harrison waiting to get back on. In the interim, Brian Fletcher.
Walker was well in front, and I got a call off him. That's 3 or 4 penalties, Brian. You better fix it up, or I'm going to fix it up, OK?
Substitute captain at the moment is Fletch, or stand in if you will. A couple of captains, a couple of on-field leaders for the Bunnies.
It's all happening.
And a good touch finder there from the Tigers, who will start this attacking raid just short of halfway. LaFranchi takes them into Rabbitohs territory.
Time off, please.
2 balls on the field at the moment. It's a time off blown by Russell Smith as Harrison makes his way back into the defensive line. This is Payton. Tigers have won 4 out of their last 5, claiming Cronulla, Saints, Manly and the Roosters. And they have certainly rocketed up the NRL ladder to be 7th coming into round 20. This is Robbie Farah. Ball back to Payton, the big man showing good hands, then getting it away to LaFranchi, who has tackled 11 metres out, tackle number 3. Coming this near side, through Prince, onto Hodgson at second receiver. Into the Shepherd there. Russell Smith had the whistle to the mouth, didn't blow it. Last tackle. Gain of 50 metres. Prince.
Line's good, good.
Towards the posts. Well weighted.
First defensive knock on off South, goal line dropout.
Goal line dropout, knockout off South. About 4 or 5 guys had a go at it.
Yeah, well, there's plenty happening. There are people in there, every ball bouncing everywhere, but Russell Smith, there we see the replay, just ruling, I think it's Polgrace, just knocking it on in goal. Good to see Russell Smith making a decision too.
Yep, back in his own ability. Benny Galea watching on crucially in West Tigers campaign this year. Anthony LaFranchi has been given a rest and onto the field for the Tigers in 16 as Chris Hyington. Here comes Bryce Gibbs. Runs into Geddes and past him. Good solid tackle there from Luke Stewart, who rarely misses. Payton. Big front rower trying just a little hint of a step and a dummy there.
He's got the 17 on the back. I think he thinks he's got the 7 on his back.
Farah across field. Links up with Galea, and up quickly on him was Bo Champion. Chant of Tigers starts to echo around Leichhardt Oval. Prince looking for his second. He is denied. Strong over the top there was Shane Walker. Going himself and going easily. Robbie Farah has snuck through. Or has he?
Just get the ground into that, please, Mick. It's a slight doubt when he went over there.
Little Robbie.
Well, he looks pretty confident, big smile on the face. Russell Smith just wants to have a look at the grounding. But I tell you what, that's frustrating to let a try over like that from dummy half. Oh.
Has he dropped that, Greenie?
Oh, I think he'd probably have to award it.
Let's have a look. Hanging on as Bo Champion. And the grandstand and the Tigers faithful watching up at the video referee's box with daggers in their eyes. Mick has made them happy. That's 3 tries inside the opening 22 minutes. They go out to a 16-0 lead.
Yeah, well, the South team, they'll be pretty disappointed as we see a few of the spectators. Plenty of them on the roof up there on the hill. As I said, a pretty soft try just going over there from dummy half, and you know, that's frustrating as a team.
On the preferred side for a right foot striker. He has made no mistake with that. We are out to 3 converted tries. 18-0 in favour of the Tigers on a beautiful Sydney Sunday afternoon. The sunshine beaming. The hill is packed. It is officially a sellout. Likewise across town at Cogra for that battle between the Sharks and the Dragons.
Well, the West Tigers have only had 2 wins from their 6 games against South, and today they haven't fared so well at Leichhardt Oval either. But today they've got off to a great start and 18-0 up.
The last time the 2 sides met was here at Leichhardt, round 22 last year.
That's one, now move and get square.
And the Bunnies got towed up on that occasion, 56 points to 6. Certainly the Tigers looking for history to repeat.
Go.
Here's Gibbs.
3, let him go, Shane.
Had Pat Richards as an option on the inside, just couldn't get the hands free. Farah onto Payton. Good ball to Hodgson, who dummies, then is collared, has left the ball behind him, and is not a well boy. Russell Smith immediately said that tackle was round the chest and it was okay.
Yeah, well, he must have had good clear view of it, because he ruled, as you said, straight away. He said no problems. Maybe he's hit his head on the ground.
Tackler here is David Fa'alogo. One of just 3 players to have played in every game this year for Sean McRae. Brett Hodgson got up, almost expecting the penalty, and said, Russell, what's happening?
Lost the ball after the tackle. Doesn't matter if he's taken off there. No, because the tackle was deemed to be legal, that's all, Scott. Let's make sure we go in, boys.
That's a nice, polite conversation between referee and halfback.
Scotty Prince, like all good halfbacks, just planting a bit of seed of doubt in the ref's mind there.
Errors 4-2. The Rabbitohs have been better statistically with the football in hand, or at least they haven't made as many mistakes. Driven backwards well there. It's Johnny Sutton. This is Luke McDougall. Tries to brush off a couple. They are going to give the McDougall boys no room whatsoever today. Here's Luke Stewart. One of the most wholehearted performers in the NRL, just continues to make the 6 or 7 metres every time with the football, rarely misses a tackle. Just under 16 minutes remain in the opening half. It has been all the West Tigers. Oh, that was spectacular from Payton. Oh, it's Toddy Polglaze again.
He must have a target on his head, the young bloke.
Hodgson leaps high and unchallenged for the football.
Yeah, look, South have been pretty good with the ball. They've had 10 possessions and they've completed 8. But they've got to just probably do a little bit more, look for a better finish to their set of 6, bit more positive kick. That was a bit of a nothing kick, a pretty easy take in the end for Brett Hodgson. And they need to mount some pressure on this West Tigers by getting a good positive finish to that set.
I guess it's difficult in the respect they're on to their 4th halfback of the season in Bo Champion. Joe Williams again playing Premier League this afternoon. Here's Benji. Gets the ball to Payton, onto Prince, further to Galea. Now where's Ben's support? He takes them on himself. Big Todd Polglaze couldn't get past a very desperate Shannon Hegarty. Farah, Prince, over the top. McDougall is there, so too Richards, and the veteran wins that battle.
Great take there by Adam McDougall, just copying a bit of a knock in the melon.
That's not going to hurt Adam McDougall. A knock to the melon. We have a touch judge in though. Luke McDougall is about to get called here.
Well,
where? Luke McDougall, please.
Oh, this could be bad error for South Sydney.
You got it, Scott. You got it, mate. Just listen to the report, please, Luke.
Passing movement up there, the ball has not gone to the Balmain player. He's far away from it. McDougall's come through and taken him out without the ball.
Just a penalty. You'll take the mark. You heard that, Luke? Let's keep it out.
Ashley Harrison obviously saw the incident because he said quite simply to Russell Smith, yes, sweet, we'll cop it. And we are going back the best part of 50 metres. Luke McDougall taking out one of the West Tigers, not Balmain players.
Yeah, pretty costly error. South Sydney finally got some possession, even though the field position wasn't the best. This is going to give the West Tigers another great opportunity in good field position. And the way they're playing today so far, that could be dangerous for the Rabbitohs.
Come on, let's keep it tidy. Hold here.
And the Tigers have just denied the Rabbitohs any opportunity with the football. We're almost half an hour into this game, Greeny, and the Tigers have had 73%, and it has all been played down this end of the paddock. 63% in this 50-metre area.
Yeah, well, and the scoreboard reflects that accordingly, 18-0 down.
Here's Hyington.
Like all games, you know that possession's going to even up, so it's important. Here we see Farah's got his second.
A double for Robbie Farah, and it was easy. The Tigers, exceptional so far this afternoon.
Well, I was just about to say, the possession will even up. It's important South Sydney hang in there, but as I was saying those words, Robbie Farah, he's outstanding out of dummy half. Going down those short sides once again. Ball in 2 hands, putting the defence in 2 minds. Just getting Luke McDougall there to hang off just for that fraction of a second. And Farah Logo just couldn't quite get across in time to clean up Robbie Farah.
Coming back, oh yes. Now already you would think Tim Sheens, Roy Simmons and the rest of the Tigers coaching staff would be thinking about points for and against. With such a logjam with 6 games after this weekend going into finals footy, points for and against, or the differential, is going to be crucial. The Tigers came in at -5, and that's not the position you want to be in. They want to rack up as many points and be as selfish as they possibly can. They're not going to let the Rabbitohs back.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Andy. You know, there's a real bottleneck around that between 20 and 24 points at the moment. The West Tigers are in that bracket there, so it's important that, you know, a minus five-point differential is probably not good enough coming into the semi, so they'll be looking to really turn that around today.
Mark Minicello now on the footy field. Luke Stewart along with Brian Fletcher. And also Scott Geddes getting a rest. Oh, here goes Hodgson. That's line break number 8. He has got 2 men on his left-hand side. He uses Fatawira. In turn, it goes to Fitzhenry, who drops the ball. It was forward anyway.
Yeah, the pass just going forward to Daniel Fitzhenry there, so it was, even if he took it, it wasn't going to be a try. But look, South Sydney's right-hand side defence, they have got to get things in order. Brett Hodgson, beautiful play there, just drifting across field, showing the ball, getting Luke McDougall to worry about what's going on outside him. The first thing you've got to do is worry about the man with the ball.
The only disappointing thing about free entry and watching the footy for nothing sitting on the roof as the Esky ends up on the ground all afternoon. But there is nowhere left.
And it's a long walk to the toilet.
Could be a job for a couple of local Leichhardt tilers tomorrow. A couple of broken ones on the roof. South Sydney with a rare opportunity with the football, just 26% of time with the footy. They've been asked already to do over 36 more tackles than their opposition. 17 is Manise Manikafoa. He's driven backwards. Walker, Harrison, Fa'alogo. Todd Polglaze moves into acting half. Bo Champion takes control. Again, a rush kick. And that's into the patrons on the hill. He's going from bad to worse for South Sydney, keeping in mind they're coming off back-to-back wins.
Yeah, Bo Champion, he ended up with the football there from dummy half, but I'm sure he wasn't the man setting himself for a kick. I think it was Ashley Harrison actually behind him who was calling for the football, so it's no surprise that one ended up out in the full.
Liam Fulton getting a break in 12, and in 15, Dean Hallertau coming onto the field.
Come on, Shane, get
Hallertau's first involvement of this afternoon. Here he is. Young Kiwi. Farah. Payton. Hodgson. Grubbers through, a left footer, pressure on Polglaze. A diving Bengalia. Russell Smith was well positioned and has said no try.
Yeah, probably a little bit premature in that set of 6, but Russell Smith very confident. He saw what was going on. Oh, not much in it.
That's one, let him go.
Not going to the video ref.
Tackle was complete, he kept hold of the leg.
Much needed penalty there for South Sydney. Trailing the penalty count, 5-3. This is the reason why. Paul Fatawira just hanging on too long.
That's all, boys. Make sure we get off home.
Just under 8.5 minutes. 4 converted tries is the difference.
Too early, Tom.
Brett Hodgson so far this afternoon shooting at 80%. Yelene Buddy Gordon is on. Surprising omission from the starting lineup, made just an hour before kickoff. And Brad Watts is getting a spell. Luke McDougall has gone over onto that right wing. Polglaze will stay at the back, and Gordon will fill the position of right centre. Another opportunity in the hands of Elford. Hegarty is there. Benji Marshall was taken out there by Ashley Harrison. Good bit of shoulder-to-shoulder running. Marshall, Hodgson looking at the try line before the ball was in his hands.
Yeah, just getting a little bit too excited there, Brett Hodgson. Saw an opportunity on his outside and was probably thinking about the pass before he actually got it in his hands.
I thought Russell Smith there, Greeny, may have been playing the advantage. Souths appeared anyway to be inside the 10 metres.
Back 3, stay in. Keep your feet back, John. Out.
Scrum feed, scrum win, and possession to South Sydney. John Sutton hasn't been involved probably as much as Sean McRae would like, a very gifted young footballer. The number 6 for South Sydney just hasn't had the chances. It's as simple as that. Manikafoa.
3, movement. Hold.
Into West Tigers territory. Apart from that absolute thrashing last year, Two sides did go into Golden Point in 2004. It was Willie Peters kicking a field goal to separate the two. Last tackle for South, a very modest gain of just 20 metres. Peter Cusack, a front rower, used as the first choice kicker there. They are lacking direction, the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I just think the communication's letting them down at the moment. A couple of times at crucial times, the ball is not getting to the right people. You want your halves with the ball in their hands as much as possible. And there, big Peter Cusack, it was a good kick in the end. Probably a little bit too deep, the pressure. The chasers couldn't quite get there to contest the football. But, you know, as I said, you want the ball on last tackle to be getting to your halves. John Sutton, Bo Champion, these sort of people.
Bo Champion just 49 minutes from the bench last week in their 16-14 away win over North Queensland. As I said earlier, the fourth halfback used by Sean McRae so far this year. Oh, Marshall muscling up on Hegarty in defence. Little Benji having a dig there.
Muscling right up, but a very good offload to Polglace. Showed plenty of cool under pressure there, Shannon Hegarty.
Adam McDougall playing the ball. Here's Mark Minicello. And when the McDougall boys are confident, extremely difficult to stop. They've had limited opportunities this afternoon. When they're going forward, the team is going forward.
Movement! Hold! Not too early, John.
Off to Harrison. Playing the ball player. Bounces off one. Is eventually tackled by Anthony LaFranchi and also John Scandalis. Last tackle, 25-metre gain this time. John Sutton gets the ball downtown. Pat Richards in good field position and tries to go in between McDougall and Hegarty. Is tackled 5 metres short of halfway. A long ball to Hodgson. A lot of incomplete tackles for South. Greeny, it's not just the misses, it's those incomplete tackles that are cruelling them.
Yeah, the ineffective tackles, you know, it allows, you know, the West Tigers just poke their nose through like we just saw there by Fitzhenry. Allows you to get a quick play of the ball, and then you're on a roll as a team. Gives guys like Scotty Prince and Benji Marshall plenty of time to play, and they're coming at you.
Hyington inside, LaFranchi. Looked to get the ball back to Daniel Fitzhenry, but couldn't. They have an opportunity on the left with Farah to Prince. Cut out ball in the hands of Buddy Gordon. Just how fast is this boom setter? Not fast enough to get away from Robbie Farah. Didn't get into full stride early.
Yeah, I think he just fumbled the football a little bit at the start. And that just slowed him down while he's trying to get it in his hands.
Luke McDougall back to Bo Champion. Pops it up and keeps the defensive line guessing. Allentown takes him to the ground. Here's John Sutton. Very much doing the job of a front rower. Oh, buckled over in a tackle. I thought he was grabbing that right knee. He's up to his feet and okay. This is Walker. Harrison. Harrison. Back to Hegarty. And is taken down by Ben Galea. A far better set this time from South Sydney. The 14 is Minicello. Minicello gets it on the inside. Plays the ball, no one is there.
Well, I don't know.
I actually thought Todd Polglaze had the footy.
I don't know if Brett Hodgson was square there, but gee, that was probably the best set of six they've had so far. But again, just not finishing the set of six with a positive result. You know, their kicking game is really one area that has to improve, South Sydney. They're just not finishing off their sets and getting any sort of positive result, mounting any pressure on the West Tigers.
Oh, Fatawira. Hitting a good shot there. Fa'alogo and also Bo Champion. This is LaFranchi. Tigers haven't been down this end of the field all that much in the opening 38 minutes. Hyington.
Let him go! By the last movement!
Last tackle, a gain of 34 metres. On to Prince. Showing a little bit of variation in his kicking game. Oh, that is exceptional from Polglaze. Put his body on the line, dived with the footy.
Very courageous effort by Polglace. Already copped a whack in the head earlier, as you see Adam McDougall make a few inroads around the ruck. But yes, definitely putting his body on the line.
Oh, and the Mad Dog, guilty of a knock on there. I think McDougall is injured. He was very slow to get to his feet.
Gee, that's brave there by Polglace. As we said, he's already copped one hit and a little slight concussion so far to Savi.
Hodgson. Marshall 2 wide. Benji just continually keeps the defence guessing. They hang off him. Having a shot at Buddy Gordon. A wild left from Benji Marshall, who wants to go on with it. He's a bantamweight. Buddy Gordon's a big boy.
Yeah, not very smart play there by Benji Marshall.
Benji, that's okay. Don't try and take the game out of my hands. We've seen the decision we're playing on. Don't strike out at the opponent. Well,
here it is, an overhand swipe. Jeff Fennick's here today, and Jeffrey would not like to see that. A very average left from Benji. Stick to your side steps. And Greeny, we've had some unsavoury incidents so far in round 20 of the Premiership. And just a warning there from Shane Walker to Russell Smith that the crowd was throwing objects onto the field on that far side, so we certainly hope that doesn't continue.
Yeah, that's absolute stupidity, that. You know,
Sutton. He's got it down. A try just before half-time to South Sydney. The Rabbitohs celebrate. They trail by 20, but perhaps just a little bit of confidence going into the break.
Yeah, as you said, a little boost just on the stroke of half-time. A great effort there by John Sutton. Here we see him get out of dummy half. They're at 6s and 7s. The markers weren't marked up. Ball in 2 hands, showing once again. But look, there were plenty of West Tigers defence there, and a great effort. Oh,
that's exceptional.
That is some skill by John Sutton. The big left hand controlling that football and waving it about and eventually getting it down. A great effort.
Right in front. And South Sydney add the extras. It is half-time here at Leichhardt Oval. What a great afternoon at the footy, especially if you're a Tigers fan, because after 40 minutes, it is the West Tigers 24, the South Sydney Rabbitohs 6. Welcome back to Leichhardt Oval for the second half of this round 20 clash between the West Tigers and South Sydney Rabbitohs. It is 4 tries to 1 and 24 points to 6 in favour of the home side, who will have the use of a slight breeze at their back for the final 40 minutes. Quite simply, the Tigers just denied South Sydney any opportunity with the football or any time with the footy. However, the second half has started well for the visitors. A knock-on the opening ruck from John Skandalis.
Yeah, just the start the South Sydney side were looking for. They finished that first half with a try, which would have given them confidence going in at half-time. And now they've got a great opportunity with a scrum feed and loose to South Sydney. A little bit over 20 metres out from the West Tigers try line.
Champion opts to go to the open side. Poor service then to John Sutton, who finds Luke McDougall running as the inside man. Carrying the one on his back, Luke McDougall. But has played both wing and centre so far this afternoon. Brother Adam has not come out for the second half. Just checking at the moment with the South Sydney coaching staff to see what the problem with Adam is. But that is the Rabbits' 5th interchange of the afternoon. Walker on to Harrison. Gets it one further. This is McDougall. Tigers held a 24-0 lead 2 minutes before half-time. This is for Alogo. As a merged entity, the Tigers have never held an opponent to nil. Sutton with a left footer, forcing the Tigers to play at it. This is going to be almost mission impossible, I was about to say. And it ends up like that. Pat Richards just couldn't find any room through a strong chasing team.
Stay behind.
Underway, we understand Adam McDougall has just got an injection in his shoulder after injuring that prior to half-time. He is back on the bench, along with Brian Fletcher, Luke Stewart and Scott Geddes. This is Manika Foa in his 12th top-grade game for the year. Walker. From Sutton, it goes to Mark Minicello, who does have an impact from the bench. Dearly love a starting position with Mark, but Sean McRae sees his best role, coming on after about 18 to 22 minutes. Ashley Harrison past Marshall. Good ball to Luke McDougall, who finds the line. So a try either side of half-time for South Sydney. They're back in with a shot.
Time off, please. Just check the grounding, please, Vic.
Wants to have a look at the grounding. Here we'll see the front on.
McDougall with the football. Pat Richards, the defender, over the top, just a little bit high. No issues whatsoever there. The grounding is good. It will be South's second try for the afternoon. And it is a try to Luke McDougall. It is number 8 for the year. They are the real Rabbitohs. Pride of rugby league, many say.
Yeah, here we go. John Sutton casually going to the line. The West Tigers centre on that side. Here we'll see the front on it. It was Benji Marshall, actually. Ashley Harrison just getting on the outside of him. A good little offload back inside to Luke McDougall. But it was John Sutton that created the space there for Ashley Harrison, took the ball to the line and just put those defenders on the West Tigers' right-hand fringe in 2 minds, and that was enough to allow Ash Harrison to get on the outside.
Coming back, not enough. Hitting the post, so it will remain 14 the difference. Brad Watts just not able to swing that ball from right to left enough. So they're at least going to have to score 3 more times, South Sydney. There is the Mad Dog on the sideline. It appears at this early stage he will be back. If confidence is high and Souths can start scoring a few points and get back into this match, the inclusion of a fresh Adam McDougall will be just what Sean McRae requires. Almighty kickoff as far as the height goes of that.
Paddy Richards, when I was playing, I actually was a kick reception from the kickoffs, and he used to terrorise me when I was playing, and I'm sure he's still doing the same. He's towering kickoffs from the place kick at the halfway.
Just gives that chasing team so much more of an opportunity and advantage. The first ruck comes. Richards heading to the Northern Hemisphere at the end of season 05. This is Shannon Hegarty, play the ball 35 metres out from his own line. Coming across field through the hands of Harrison onto Fa'alogo. Good gain of 10 metres on that ruck, 39 metres gained in the set. They again go to their captain, and hasn't there been a debate over the last couple of weeks about Ashley Harrison? Of course, he is leaving to go to the Sydney Roosters next year, and there's been some within the club and externally that suggest, well, if Ashley Harrison's leaving, let's give the captaincy to someone that's going to be here next year and mould a future captain. But under Ashley over the last fortnight, Greenie, they've recorded successive wins.
Yeah, well, they've been playing well, so I suppose the thinking is that, you know, they don't want to change something and lose a bit of momentum that they've had in recent weeks.
Tackled just short of halfway is John Scandalis. Goes to Anthony LaFranchi. Back to Robbie Farah. He heads across field. Links up with Scotty Prince. Now it's in the hands of Benji Marshall. Dean Hallertau on to Shane Elford. Looking to come back centre field, but monstered there by Mark Minicello. Gain of 42 metres, and Scott Prince happy to play the territorial game, not an attacking kick. Oh, Shannon Hegarty has bumped that dead in goal.
Well, Shannon Hegarty, a little grin on his face. He was willing that ball to go over the dead ball line, and I think the bounce must have just tricked him up there. He's just give it a little bit of a nudge.
Considering the opening try, the half went to South Sydney. They were desperate to try and avoid this type of situation. Shallow dropout and a dream result for the Rabbitohs.
Well, Shannon Hegarty,
breathe a sigh of relief, son.
He'll want to go and thank Hallertau, just forcing the knock on from the drop out. Shannon Hegarty, the man there putting pressure on. I wonder if he called for the short kickoff to try and make up for that mistake he made. In a good result for South Sydney.
Certainly an awkward restart. Good metres made there from Ashley Harrison. 6 hit-ups this afternoon, 11 tackles to Ashley. You can see the error count, 10-7. It favours the Rabbitohs. Their completion rate 16 of 23 as it is. And the Tigers struggling at 17 of 27. three-man tackle that time. Fatawira, LaFranchi and Galea involved in bringing down Fa'alogo. 2 men wide of the ruck. They go to Manikafoa, who got a miracle ball away to Todd Polglaze. Runs away from the fullback. Is forced to play his hand. Finds Minicello. Good expansive rugby league here from South Sydney. Looking for their 3rd try of the afternoon. They look for it through Manikafoa. An opportunity still to the right-hand side. Harrison. Cusack. Cusack is denied. And that is the turnover.
Well, I think probably going behind Cusack would have been the better option in hindsight, and I know that's an easy thing to talk about hindsight, but that's not a bad result. They've still tackled one, 5 metres out from the try line. It's important Souths don't give away a penalty here. Keep that pressure on the West Tigers.
Marshall putting on a sidestep there, unable to fool the defence that was up quickly in the form of Minicello and Walker. Happy to take it from dummy half and go. This is Daniel Fitzhenry. Steps off the left 3 times. Still going. A good dummy. Marshall on the inside. South scrambled brilliantly. Daniel Fitzhenry has tackled 11 metres out. They want to go to the left. Hodgson. Good hands from Farah. Over the top. And it has got too much on it. Both sides willing to chance their hand.
Here's great bust by Fitzhenry. The mark is just going to sleep there from South Sydney. Shane Walker. Great footwork shown. A little bit of a show and go too.
Doesn't get a lot of raps, does he, Daniel Fitzhenry? Of great utility value to Tim Sheens, who is fast approaching 500 career games as a coach. 486 this afternoon. Their last at Leichhardt for the year. Here's Minicello.
Gone back off his foot.
Gone back, Walker to Geddes. Good metres down the centre of the ruck, and Big Scott bumps off Brett Hodgson. Tackled 41 metres out from the position on the field they would love to be. Champion to Fletcher. Further on to Gordon. Ball goes out the back. It would be in the Tigers' better interest to take the ball to ground there. I thought it was an offside.
Get away. Just get away. Brian, put your arm down and go away.
I think Brian Fletcher was about to gripe about that. It came off one Tiger into the hands of a man in an offside position. And in fairness to Russell Smith, he probably didn't get the assistance he needed from the near side touch judge.
Well, his view would have been obscured being in the middle of the field, so it was this near side touchy that really needed to help him out. I thought there were a couple of West Tigers hands in there. There were plenty of defenders around there.
Hallertau restarting the action. John Skandalis again puts his hand up. That is hit up number 14. He is equal with most hit ups along with Anthony LaFranchi. That's LaFranchi now with the football. Short side they come. Hallertau. Dummies everywhere to Hodgson, who knocks the ball on. Getting a little bit physical. Gordon and Graham take it over the sideline. That completion rate for the Tigers isn't getting any better.
No, it was going quite well there during that period where they were scoring points. There's the knock on by Brett Hodgson. Not a great pass by Hallertau, just going behind the fullback. But as we said earlier on in that first half, the completion rate was very good and they come up with points. Now they've just gone off the boil a bit, only completing 19 from 30 sets. The Rabbitohs just getting a little bit more possession back. That possession count starting to even up.
Brian Fletcher is swamped there by a trio of Tigers. This is Hegarty. Tackle number 2. Brett Hodgson, the fullback, only now just starting to make his way back. So plenty of opportunity behind the line if Souths wanted to try something a little bit different, get the ball downfield early. That possession statistic is slowly starting to even up. South Sydney now with 43% of the football. Make it 44 with this ruck.
Well, we said it would even up. Most games it always does, so it's important they just play with patience.
Champion over the top, pressure on Hodgson. Gordon is there. He gets away from the first man. Dummies to no one. Taken down low by a champion. And over the top by Scotty Geddes. Good style of a footballer, John Skandalis. For a big man, is regularly back there from the kicks to take the first strike up and just add a little bit of stability at the start of the tackle count. 5 metres short of halfway. They go to Prince. Keeps going to Marshall. Liam Fulton was also involved in there as second receiver. That's him with the ball. On to Scott Prince. Couple of dummies there. Skandalis, the hint of a sidestep from the front rower. Delia finds Prince. Last tackle it is. Well weighted. Brad Watts with a bit of work in front of him and does well to get back out into the field of play.
Yeah, he did a great job there, Brad Watts, to find the field of play. He's not the biggest of players, so it was a good effort there to get him back in.
Good defence from Skandalis and Fatawira there. Here's Gordon. And the Tigers are certainly muscling up here. Fletcher looking for some much-needed go forward. Finds a couple of metres. Awkward play the ball. On to Harrison. And a penalty. That is exactly what South Sydney needed.
Well, during that set of 6, the West Tigers were all over South Sydney. They were struggling to make yards. Brian Fletcher it was that got the quick play the ball and just catching the West Tigers inside the 10. A great let off for South Sydney. It's important the West Tigers, they don't put the cue in the rack. If they think they've got the game won at this stage with still 25 minutes left on the clock, you know, if South Sydney score next 8-point ball game, we're in for a great finish.
Greenie, in regards to just putting the cue in the rack, we mentioned midway through the first half about the points differential for and against. Even if the contest isn't a close one, the inspiration and motivation to continue scoring points and defending your line with honour is still there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Andy. As we said, that there's a real dogfight. There's plenty of teams around that 20 to 24 points, so points differential is going to be vitally important coming into the semis.
Sutton with the football, had the left arm free, just could not find anyone to get it off to. Had an opportunity left. They come right through Harrison. He spills it back. A dummy. Bo Champion, the halfback, playing the ball on the last. They will go to John Sutton, who grubbers ahead. Too much on it. Well, they needed a perfect kick there, and we saw last night in the Parramatta-Newcastle match just how important a well-weighted kick is. I think the dropouts ended up 6-0. Parramatta restarting play from underneath the post 6 times, due for the only reason to the perfection in the kicking of Andrew Johns, just stopping it on a dime.
Well, the thing with that stat is that it takes juice out to make that many more tackles. Come the end of the game, you're not as fresh as what the other side is because you've had to make 6 more sets of 6 tackles, as we see a great bust here.
This is Liam Fulton in 12. Big sidestep from the second rower, and he will go all the way. He finishes on the line. Russell Smith would like to look at it.
Well, time off, please, Mick.
Is it a second effort?
I believe.
Rennie?
Oh, it's a tough one. If he hadn't have lifted his arm, I would have said try, no dramas. The fact that he's made another effort and lifted his arm put a bit of doubt in the referee's mind.
Mick Stone is our referee. And it is a try. Tigers move again to a clear advantage of 18 points. They are happy, the Tigers. Kicking at 80% this afternoon, Brent Hodgson. This one of his easier ones, 11 metres back, just off centre. And once again, the West Tigers lead by 20. You may find some of the South's contingent in the outer start making their way back to the cars. Jimmy Sheen's in the stands, but there won't be too many Tigers supporters leaving. They love coming to Leichhardt. They love celebrating victories here. That is exactly what they will do. Won 5 of their last 6 here at home base of the West Tigers. I guess in many respects trying to make up for a little bit of lost time and missed opportunity. The Tigers were only one game out of the semi-final footy last year. Of course, suffered that last round loss, I think, to Newcastle, that effectively ruled their chances. They only needed to win one game in the final month of last year's home and away series. They didn't.
That will be in the back of their minds coming into this final series this year. But most of these guys, as we said, they've got another year's experience under their belt. We see Halatau ruled one-on-one by Russell Smith, no problems there.
Here's John Sutton. A little bit of that zip has been lost from the South Sydney attack. One out stuff, finding Pole Glaze. Steps a couple. Almost confuses himself. He is tackled 22 metres out from the try line. 20 points the difference, 21 and a bit minutes remaining. Fletcher plays the distributor role and finds Scott Geddes.
Hand on the ball.
Penalty South Sydney.
Hand on the ball.
It'll be a quick tap. Continue going. Shane Walker takes it. Finds Ashley Harrison. Now to John Sutton. That's strong defence. It's Benji underneath the game. Fletcher. Pole Glaze. Back to Champion. And his opposing number, should I say, takes him to the ground. 10 metres out. Fletcher, his involvement been far heavier in this second half. Far Logo couldn't promote the football. Forrest Gordon has been kept quiet this afternoon. Champion. Short ball was it forward to Luke Stewart? No, says Russell Smith. And this is the fifth and last tackle, 11-metre gain. Champion. That's a kick with better weight on it, and South Sydney will get that repeat set. Exactly what they're after. Second best result.
Well, they get a repeat set, which is, it's a positive end to the set of six. But during that set of six, as we see the little kick by Champion, well weighted, Brett Hodgson just bouncing into their hands, and the chase was there to trap him in goal. But during that set of six, they just lacked a bit of punch. South, they played with plenty of lateral movement, but no one seemed to really want to take that line on and put a bit of a dent in the West Tigers' defensive line.
Souths came into this match looking for 3 in a row for the first time since 1994. And, of course, the Tigers looking for 4 in a row for the first time ever as the West Tigers. They lead by 20. Geddes. Good front on tackle from Bryce Gibbs. Over the top came Todd Payton. John Scandalis getting a rest at the moment. 30 metres out to Bo Champion. Very tall halfback. Harrison at acting half. They go to Luke Stewart, centre field. Takes the ball up. Good around the legs there was Dean Halatau. They continue to the left of the field. This is Walker. And last tackle now for Souths. John Sutton at acting dummy half. He grubbers. Knock on from the Tigers. And it'll be a third successive set for the Rabbitohs. The Tigers' defensive line holding up well.
John Sutton out of dummy half. It was on his preferred side. Couple of knock-ons and just grounding the ball there. Shane Elford forcing the line goal dropout.
Ryan Fletcher has certainly had his ups and downs so far this year. Long-term and niggling hamstring injury kept him out for several weeks. Of course, disciplined a couple of weeks ago following the loss to Parramatta and signing to play in the English Super League. 206 and beyond, the man that just passed the ball. Goes back to Hegarty. That was a good ball from Luke McDougall. On to Sutton. Not played at. Still the first tackle. This is Geddes. Good better from South Sydney. Walker links up with Harrison. Again, they have numbers on this right-hand side. Champion. Can he read it? Not that time around. Luke Stewart straightens the attack. Harrison from close range. And we're going to see if he grounded it with a video ref.
Just check, mate. Did he get that ball down?
This will show it. Plenty of West Tigers defence there. And it doesn't look to me like Ashley Harrison's got the ball anywhere near down. So it'll still be South's ball. Look, South to me up in this West Tigers attacking their try line. They're too flat and they're all in the one line. Doesn't give the ball players any option to either play short or to play behind. They're all standing, you know, in the same plane, and it limits your options as a ball player.
Held up, no try. We will go back 10 metres. Restart the count, and it is the last. Champion on this right-hand side, that is their go-to. They pick up Polglaze. Back to Champion, onto Fletcher. He puts boot to ball. Hegarty's screaming through. Oh, good show of hands from big Paddy Richards there. Couldn't control it, but put out the big right mid. And denied Shannon Hegarty of a 4-pointer.
Well, a bit of variety there by South Sydney on the last play. Opting to run it. Brian Fletcher ending up with the football and a well-weighted kick there. Shannon Hegarty knew it was on and he put plenty of pressure on. And Pat Richards, cool enough to see him. Normally got a towering drop kick. Didn't hit that one as well as he normally does.
Here's Geddes again. Bryce Gibbs and Todd Payton posing front rowers there to meet and greet. Sutton onto Fletcher. "17 minutes remaining." This is Shannon Hegarty. His 9th hit up of the afternoon. Again, quality contribution from Shannon Hegarty. Walker, Champion. Inside ball, a hospital pass to Polglaze. Tackle number 4. This is the 4th successive set at the Tigers line. Give their defence a wrap. Marshall is knocked on. Hegarty back to Sutton. That is the 0. Tigers have touched it. A 5th set. Geddes goes forward. How long can the Tigers hold on for? Walker, Harrison, Champion. Tigers' urgency in defence has been good here, and it is now a penalty to Souths. Possession is almost square following this run of South Sydney attack. Champion inside to Fletcher. Had Polglaze there, can't get the arm free. Tigers can't put Fletcher to the ground. They must be out on their feet at the moment, the West Tigers. This is for a logo. He leaves the ball behind Hyington. Picks up the dregs, but it has been raked out, according to our referee. Another penalty to Souths. We're ahead in the penalty counts now, 8-6, more possession. Harrison. Champion short side, they go to Sutton on the open. Second man ball there to Luke McDougall, has already found the line once, he finds it again. Luke McDougall with the double this afternoon. It is 30 points to 14, kick to come.
Well, finally we've seen a bit of variety in the South Sydney attack. Their 5th possession back-to-back, and through that weight of possession, Luke McDougall, after a nice little second-man play, John Sutton, little show inside to Geddes, and a second-man play. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was referring to before in having a player just go through and try and hold up a bit of defence. This angle will show it better. We see Luke Stewart there, just holds up Benji Marshall enough to allow McDougall a passage to the try line.
25 tries in 35 games for this club for Luke McDougall. A double today, 9 for the season. Certainly very impressive statistics. Brad Watts strikes it out to the right, and it stays there. Scoreline remains a difference of 16. It is the West Tigers 30, South Sydney 14. And just under 14 minutes remaining. Oh, they're a passionate mob, the Tigers. Wouldn't they love to see this side playing finals footy?
Yes, I'm sure they would. They're pumped up, the big West Tigers fans. And The way some of the football we've seen today, I'm sure the West Tigers are a big chance of being there this year.
Here's Geddes. Into Galea. Also there is the 16 for the Tigers, Harrington. Harrison offloads it to Luke Stewart. Tackled on the 20-metre line, centre field. It's just tackle 2 for Souths. Minicello has a little skirt out, a dummy half, leaves the ball behind. Opportunistic there. Todd Payton came away with the footy. This is Benji Marshall. Still going. Taken to the ground by Buddy Gordon. Again, those two have words. Daniel Fitzhenry, who's made a couple of great line breaks this afternoon. This time he has driven back.
Dominant, 3.
The 8 is Bryce Gibbs, second-generation footballer. Looked to get it out the back to Robbie Farah. Ashley Harrison was there waiting. Prince. Harrington inside. Running a good angle, the replacement forward. Now it's a penalty to the Tigers. South's just trying to dominate too much on the ground. There was no real upside to that at all. Hodgson. A half gap. It's shut quickly. Again, it's Luke McDougall and Mark Minicello doing the clean-up work. Elford. Good tackle from Harrison. Prince. Gibbs. Tigers lose possession of the footy.
It's gone back. That's 3.
Ball is deemed to have gone back.
Play ball. Go.
Bit of push and shove from the marker area, and that opens up for Robbie Farah, who collects a hat-trick here on home ground.
Well, Russell Smith awarding the try. But Bryce Gibbs got up and he got into a bit of an altercation with Mark Minicello around that ruck area. Minicello should have been first marker. Robbie Farah seizing that opportunity like all good dummy half players and scooting from dummy half, getting his 3rd try for the afternoon. Here we see Minicello and Bryce Gibbs. He's ruled that's knocked back. In my mind, it's gone forward. I don't know what game he was watching there.
By about a metre.
But there we see a little bit of push and shove, just enough to give Robbie Farah the head start on Minicello, and catching also John Sutton off guard. There we see a little bit of a push, and just allows Farah to just get past Minicello enough.
Good young footballer, Robbie Farah, and equally as good a young man off the field. Has been brought through the junior development program very, very slowly and cautiously by Tim Sheens. 3 today, 7 for the year and 7 in his career. It is going to be a long career. Already the similarities been bandied around between he and Benny Elias. That's unfair in my estimation, but certainly a very talented footballer.
Yeah, I don't like it when people start doing that sort of stuff. I mean, he's a great footballer in his own right, and he's got to carve out his own career. You know, a feature of his play is obviously his dummy half work, and Benny Elias was one of the best in the business, but you know, these guys, these young guys coming through, they don't need any pressure like that. Just let the kids play, let them make their own name for himself, and I'm sure Robbie Farah will do that. He showed today that any opportunity he gets around that ruck area, he's going to take.
Keep on side, boy.
Those Tigers flags are flying high. The South Sydney fans again heading for the turnstiles. If there was a glimmer of hope 10 minutes ago at 30-14, that has all but ended. Tigers today without Mark O'Neill with an elbow injury, and the club captain will return in round 24. Bitterly disappointed he wasn't part of today's encounter, which would have been his last at Leichhardt Oval. Seemingly unwanted by the club for 2006 and beyond. So, disappointing way to finish what has been a long association with Leichhardt Oval for Mark O'Neill.
Yes, but he's been a great player for a number of years, so, you know, you really should focus on that. You know, that's the hard part about Blooding.
Yep.
You know, they've got all these great young players coming through, guys like Robbie Farah, the Bryce Gibbs, Liam Fulton, these sort of guys. You just can't fit everyone under the salary cap. And unfortunately, sometimes things like that happen.
That is a monster kick from Scott Prince, 70 metres. He kicked it just inside the 40 and it went over the dead-end goal with plenty to spare. What it does do, it gives the Tigers defence the opportunity to set on the 30-metre line. And the cheer you hear in the background is for the official crowd attendance here. It is 22,877. They are squeezed in. It is a record premiership crowd that has attended at this venue dating back to 1934. So West Tigers and South Sydney fans created history here, the Savo at Leichhardt Oval. Great atmosphere. They are going to enjoy every one of the 8 minutes remaining in this contest. Hegarty. Good bust there. This is Farlogo taking on Hodgson. Farlogo slipped and went straight into the fullback. Farlogo hurt himself in that exchange. Last tackle, Harrison over the top. Pat Richards beautifully positioned at the back. It's a kick probably Ashley Harrison would like to have all over again.
Yeah, they had a good opportunity from a bust through Farlogo, but as you said, Pat Richards, a great effort, had the presence of mind to get both feet in the in-goal area before he actually caught the ball. Had he left from the field of play, of course, it would have been play on. So great work there by Paddy Richards.
And David coming from the field now. That is the 11th interchange for Sean McRae this afternoon. Pat Richards kicks in field. Here comes Brett Hodgson. Will he have the pace to match it? He certainly doesn't. Richards there is there, should I say, to complete the tackle on Todd Polglaze, who was tested at the back. This is Gordon.
I've got to give a huge rep to the West Tigers here in their work they've done down the short sides. They've been able to sum up the situation very well on a number of occasions and put it through the hands, and the players play straight. What that does is commit the defenders. And more often than not today, we've seen them get that overlap, use the ball, put it through the hands. We saw Paddy Richards make another good break down the right-hand side there.
They certainly count the numbers well, don't they, on the short side. Harrison gets the ball to Sutton. Line ball at best. Sutton plays it just his side of halfway. Goes to Champion. Just a little chip over the top. Scotty Prince is there. Finds Brett Hodgson on his inside.
That's one, now move.
Just over 6 minutes remaining. 36 points to 14. And it does wonders for the West Tigers differential. It will go from minus figures exactly where they want it to be. Tackle number 3.
You've got to stand up, mate, and play it when you can play it properly, not in that fashion.
West Tigers penalised there, an incorrect play. The ball from Benny Galea.
There we see him. He's pretty strict on the ruck infringements, Russell Smith. And on that occasion, just ruling Bengalia didn't get to his feet before he played it.
Keep coming, Bryce, come on. Hold here, hold. Go.
Long 5.5 minutes for Sean McRae.
I don't know about you, Andy, but those Thomas the Tank Engine fans, when I hear Russell Smith refereeing, it reminds me of the Fat Controller.
The skinny controller, and making his way through and doing it with ease was Todd Polglaze. It's a consolation try, nothing more for the South Sydney Rabbitohs, wearing the Cinderella Man advertising courtesy of Russell Crowe and Company this afternoon. This is the incident. Harsh?
I think it's pretty harsh,
yeah,
in my opinion. I don't know how much more to his feet he could have got.
The skinny controller didn't see it like that. Come on, lads, penalty, you know, you can get to your feet.
Todd Polglaze, he's caused the West Tigers a few headaches there tonight. Good footwork. A great ball too by Brian Fletcher. He's shown his ability, even though he's a big back rower, he can ball play. Just putting Polglaze there into some space and some good footwork there, eventually getting the 4-pointer.
And it was a difficult start to the afternoon for Todd Polglaze too, really heavily knocked in a tackle with Shane Elford in the opening exchanges, considering he's had a couple of knocks already this year. This is Bo Champion, only 1 goal from 3 attempts for South Sydney so far this afternoon, and that was kicked by this young man. Just his 3rd top grade game. Over we go with the extras. Here's a 16-point difference. 36 points to 24 minutes remaining. And even the Tigers are winning off the field. Poor Reggie has not been able to offer much.
Yeah, once again, though, today we've spoke about that points differential. I'm sure Tim Sheens will be a little bit disappointed with leaking the 18 points. I think they had a really good opportunity to put a score on South today.
Yep. A monster kick from the centre, and as Greeny said earlier, it terrorises the recipient. This time it's Bo Champion.
Well, we see guys like Andrew Johns, Darren Lockett, they're probably the best exponents of that spiral bomb. Paddy Richards can do them from a kickoff. And I'll tell you what, they are so hard to catch.
You can hear the crowd here at Leichhardt when Pat Richards restarts play. They collectively hold their breath, willing a mistake. And we have seen it late in the game. Opportunity to reach 40 for the Tigers. Bryce Gibbs losing his footing as he made his way towards Luke Stewart. Here's Scotty Prince, Benji Marshall, inside ball to Brett Hodgson. And those three are high on the priority list to secure for the future for Steve Noyce and company in this coming week. Expect to read and hear more about long-term contracts to Hodgson, Prince and Marshall. Back to Pat Richards. They are claiming a try. Russell Smith's awarding it, and the Tigers hit 40.
Yeah, lovely, well-executed backline play there. Beautifully finished off by Paddy Richards. Here we see the ball being played on the left. We've seen that plenty of times today. Marshall to Prince, a great out ball there to Dean Collis. Just flicking the ball back inside. Here we see that out ball by Scotty Prince, allowing him just to get on the outside of Luke McDougall, flicking it up. And Paddy Richards, Johnny on the spot, getting a great 4-pointer.
Yeah, right time, right place for Pat. And the fans muscling up like their crew has done on the field for the last hour and a half.
I've been really impressed today with Brett Hodgson. You were just talking about his future at the club. He's taken on a role similar to what Matty Bowen does up at the North Queensland Cowboys, and we've seen how effective that can be. It takes a bit of pressure off Prince and Benji Marshall, and he's a very skillful ball player. He's also a great goalkeeper as we see him lining up.
Difficult kick to finish his afternoon for Brett Hodgson. Let's ride it with him. Here it comes. Oh, yes. They can do no wrong, and I can tell you, every one of the 17 Tigers is absolutely loving this. A full house at Leichhardt Oval, and they are the heroes of the Tiger supporters and the crowd.
Yeah, here Brett Hodgson from the sideline, he struck it perfectly straight over the black dot. He's had a good afternoon with the boot, Brett Hodgson.
Not just this next generation of Tigers stars that were on display here. Stars from yesteryear were paraded before this healthy crowd prior to the first grade kickoff. Neil Pringle and Larry Corral are amongst others. Benny Elias is here as well. And the crowd absolutely loves seeing some of Balmain's biggest stars. Here go the Tigers again. This is Benji Marshall inside. And tackled well as Paul Fatawira. Siren sounds. This could well be the last play of the afternoon. Galea steps off the foot. It goes back to LaFranchi.
Well, Russell Smith hasn't heard the siren yet.
He blows time off now. That ends the 80 minutes here in front of a full house, a record crowd at Leichhardt. It is the Tigers 42, the Rabbitohs 20.